Metal Gear Solid Remake could be on the horizon for the PlayStation 5. Starfield could be delayed. Scalebound, back from the ashes? This is GameF8 News. If you like this, click the like button and make sure you subscribe to keep up with the latest gaming news. We're going to start today with our smaller headlines. Firstly, Google Stadia. You remember that thing that was going to revolutionise the way we saw gaming? Well, the service has finally released its last game. Worm Game is currently available for free as a thank you to supporters of the Doom service. The game is sadly a perfect analogy for Stadia, rushed and poorly executed, but at least this was intentional this time, since the build they released was never intended to be played. Google have dealt with Stadia's demise incredibly well, refunding all hardware and software purchases. This is yet another classy way to end for Google, ensuring the devs on the game have at least something to show off for the cancelled project. It's rare for a company to fail successfully, but Google have also promised to release a patch for their controllers to allow them to be used with other services. Free-to-play game Lost Ark has got into hot water with its users after banning players who weren't playing enough. Its Steam page is full of complaints from angry gamers whose only fault is having a busy life. Its rating on Steam has tanked from mostly positive to mostly negative. The game's developer has said, following a recent wave of bot bans, we've seen an increase in ban appeals from players who have been incorrectly impacted by these bans. We have determined the error that triggered these false bans and are actively working on reversing them for all affected legitimate players regardless of whether a support ticket has been filed. Now in our main headlines, notorious leaker The Snitch has come out of retirement with news that PlayStation is about to be announcing third-party stuff very soon. Many outlets including Insider Gaming and PlayStation Lifestyle have taken this to mean that maybe a Metal Gear Solid will finally be announced. Konami have had a lot of success recently with sending their IPs to other teams to create new games and TV shows. For example, Castlevania has been made into a successful TV show and Silent Hill 2 is getting remade and it looks pretty good. Konami, however, will be aware how popular the Metal Gear series is, so have probably been biding their time to get the best studio to revitalise this dormant franchise. I mean, it could do with a revitalisation after Metal Gear Survive. With Xbox having an event at the end of this month and Nintendo typically having their Direct next month, a state of play would seem likely soon. In our next main headline, recent changes to Starfield's Steam page hint at a delay. The page used to state that 2023 was the release date, but this has changed to coming soon, which has led many to speculate that 2023 is no longer the confirmed release year and that the game might have been delayed. Along with news that Xbox are not featuring the game in their developer Direct at the end of this month, people are starting to prepare themselves for disappointment. However, this may be a non-issue. It appears that Steam has done this with many of its games, for example Forspoken, Redfall and Ark 2. The changes may be down to the way it deals with metadata in the back end. The drop-down boxes might have changed their value somewhat to aid with localization. So all the devs need to do is just go back in and select 2023 again. I'm hoping. And in our final bit of news, the game forged by an unlikely partnership between Microsoft and Platinum Games, Scalebound, which was cancelled by Microsoft in 2017, may be on the verge of a revival. This speculation comes from the latest episode of Xbox Era podcast. Back in September last year, Phil Spencer says there's nothing currently to say about a possible Scalebound revival, which is odd for someone who is known for stamping out rumours early on. A trailer for the game would definitely be an amazing ending for Xbox's first developer Direct. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that's it for today. Which Metal Gear Solid game do you want a remake for? Could 2023 finally be Microsoft's year? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you tomorrow for another GameF8 news.